Alright, you guys, we've got a heater here that's just blowing cold air. No heat. Nothing on high. Nothing on low. Okay, we've got some Phillips screw heads. There we go, 6, 7 of them. 6 on the sides, 1 on the top. Probably need to give it some slack through the cord. Maybe, no. There we go. Oh, the knob had to come off. Both knobs. Okay. I wonder what that's for. Indicator lights. So I need to make sure that slips back in there. Not hearing the thermostat click on and off. Let's see the there's a pin that moves in and out, pushing on a piece of metal that flexes when temperature increases or decreases, and this changes the setting of when it pops over to a closed connection. And I do not hear that popping over. Safety switch on the bottom. There's the 2 connections between there to turn the heater on and off. Thermostat will close its connection and supply power to the heating element and fan. Got a little thermal deal going on there. Probably if it falls over on its face or gets a blanket falls over it, this will get really hot and that piece of metal will flex and disconnect everything. But yeah, it looks closed and intact. I have to make sure, we can make sure with the multimeter. I'll switch that over to the continuity tester. Piece of junk will work. Okay. Check both sides of the thermal fuse. Follow the path of power. And try and diagnose by just following the power wire coming in. So one side of the cord is going to that safety switch out to the thermostat out to the selector switch, which will select between medium, low, and high settings, and fan setting with no heat. So power out from thermostat. In, out. It's probably the fan connection. Jumpered over, and this side goes to the fan and heating element. And it looks like the neutral side of the cord is getting spliced into this blue wire. Goes over to that thermal fuse. I don't know if I even call that a fuse. Looks like just a, kind of looks like a little thermostat in itself. If it gets too hot, it has a safety issue. It'll heat up, disconnect, and then when it cools down, it will reconnect. So I don't know, yeah, maybe you still call that a thermal fuse. So neutral over there, neutral to the other side. 2 wires, one going to that light, one going to this side of the switch. Those are the fan wires. Go to the switch. Thermostat. That is just not making that traditional little click sound. Just in case my poking and prodding got something to work, let's just do a quick test. Let's see here. So I'm going to turn this way. thermostat all the way up. It is hot, so I need to be careful. Nothing. Let's go jumper these heater wires and see if it's the thermostat. Thermostat, a little thing there. Let's see, oh, there's the clicky part, the contacts. Those actually look like they're engaged. Power into there. Looks like there might also be a built-in safety mechanism to that. Power in. Across this. Looks like it's stuck on. So this is moving this plastic pin. This plastic pin is pushing on this whole mechanism. And this whole mechanism is supposed to move this thing up and down like that. That didn't do anything. Okay, put that thermostat back in. Just check the continuity of the heating element. Make sure it's not something didn't get fried somewhere. Don't see any burnt spots on the wire, on the filament. It is touching like right there though, between the two elements. I think there's a high element and a low element. Or just a secondary. Actually, yeah, look. These are all spaced. Just make sure it's not plugged in. These are all spaced normally. And then around here, about right there, they're all smashed together. Like it got dropped, maybe. But I don't think that would cause too much issue. Top element and a bottom element. I've got a hot wire going to each of them, going to the switch. So one on for medium heat and both on for high heat. They come back to neutral connection here. This thermal fuse or safety coupler, safety disconnect, or whatever you want to call that. Let's check. Let's go from the neutral side where they're both connected, and then check that top one, check the bottom one. They both got a continuity. Let's go ahead and check the thermostat. See if it's working. It looks like it's stuck on, but let's see if it'll turn off. Does not turn off. Yeah, that seems to be stuck on. So that won't keep it from not working. It's got to be the switch. Let's see how easy this opens up. Or does that just, yeah, that just unscrews it from the base. So we got power coming from the thermostat, coming to that terminal, splits off to that side. That must be the fan power, and this selects between the two heating elements. Let's put it on that common connection. Check these elements. This should be high on one side. and nothing. How about the fan? There's the common connection. Fan is working, fan is good. Alright, so we got a bad switch here. I got power going to one element or both elements. So we can put a switch in for the fan. Let's see, how do we want to do this? We put a switch in. One switch could be low heat plus fan, and another switch for high heat. Let's see here, because I don't feel like trying to order one of these things right now. You can actually see the little lever. Give it a pinch. Oh yeah, the switch has probably gotten really hot over the years. Oh, there it goes. Brittle. Pieces missing. A bearing right there. Okay, let's get these wires off. This selector switch, it's no good. I could probably find another one online, but I don't really care about that. I just need this thing to make heat. That not come off. Getting the top and bottom elements, well, getting the top element pried back up so it's not resting on the bottom one. Two heaters, fan and indicator light. These two smaller wires together, indicator light, fan, and one heating element, so one power switch will turn on all those, and then from the other side of the switch we'll connect another switch to the secondary element for high heat. Got all the old connectors pulled off and replacing them with some ringlets or eyelets, ring connectors with non-insulated connectors because they'll probably melt. They could melt. So I snipped off all the spades and put on the ring connectors. I probably could have tied this in with that one, but it's getting kind of full. I'll solder these as well just to be on the safe side. Do something like this. So power into main switch, powers fan, one heating element and indicator light, also powers this wire, which will go over to another switch, which will power the second element for high heat. Alright, I got everything soldered up. Okay, we'll do the main switch here. Power coming in from the thermostat. Not enough room. I'll probably put that to the side. Which will make more room. Just snug, a little more than snug. Not too snug, you don't want to bend the terminal. Okay, heating element number 2. Oh, I forgot to put the jumper on there. Because power also needs to go to switch number 2. Okay, power over to switch 2. Connects to element number 2. Okay. Heater, element 1, one element. The fan and the indicator light, and power to switch to element 2 for high heat. Okay. Now let's figure out where I could drill a couple new holes. Or squeeze those right in on each side of that light. And let's move that light. Get that in place. Pretty much centered with that indicator light, and that will give me some room from the bottom of these things, and yeah, that should work. Go about right there. Let's see here, which way's on? The notch is notch is off. So I want that facing, the notch facing down. Notch facing down, I guess. Yeah, we'll put the on-off. One is just going to be, we'll label, one of these we can label low and high. It'll just be a on-off switch for the second element, but that's essentially what it is. So I'm going to flip one of these backward to remind me if I don't write a low and high on there. And then the other one we'll leave upward for on-off. Like so. Alright, let's flip these back. In this case, I need more room this way, but that's one option you can do if you want to fit these in a tight space. You have to flip these to the side, but that's in the way right now. I was a little worried. I don't know what I was thinking. I was a little worried about space behind them, but there's actually a lot of space. But that way they are. If I don't flip them, they're hitting that shroud. Indicator light in there. It just kind of hangs out in there, doesn't really have anything to hold it. Yeah. Alright, so we got on off and low heat, high heat. Let's see if it works. Hold that safety switch. Yeah, we got heat pretty quick. Feels slightly cool. I mean, it's not too hot. It's just warm. There we got high heat. Wow, that actually is. Oh, it's nice. Yeah, thermostat doesn't work for some reason. I don't know. Low setting, looks like that gets right around 90 to 93. High setting. Gets up around 124, 125-ish. At least according to this, which is only getting the surface temperature off this plastic. It's feels a bit hotter than that, but that's great. Low setting is probably going to be a little too low for tonight, but it's at least going to take the edge off. High will probably be too high. Later on, we'll look at replacing that thermostat, but right now I don't really care. I got some thick blankets if I need to. Alright, free heater. That, somebody was about to throw that in the garbage. So, just a couple switches. And later on, we'll look at replacing the thermostat or not worry about it. If this goes in the RV, I can just put up a wall thermostat that goes to an outlet to control that. So, there you go. Quick way to fix that. If you got a heater that's got a bad selector switch, make that work manually with a couple toggles. Single pole, single throw. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Hey, look at that. The thermostat does work. I guess it's just cold in here.